Before the U.S. can shut down the detention center at Guantanamo Bay, it must decide what to do with the terror suspects who are still there, especially dozens from Yemen. The U.S. is reluctant to simply ship them home, but a plan may now be in the works. Let's bring in our Pentagon correspondent, Chris Lawrence. Chris, tell us what's going on.
Well, Wolf, the plan would involve sending Yemeni prisoners to Saudi Arabia for rehabilitation. A diplomatic source who is familiar with the talks says the U.S. has approached both the Saudis and Yemen about the idea. Now, these two countries share a border, but the Saudis have said their first priority is getting their own citizens out of the prison. And recently, in a speech, the president of Yemen said he would be against the idea. Now, the U.S. is under pressure to figure out what to do with the remaining 240 prisoners at Guantanamo. U.S. officials tell CNN that almost half of those remaining prisoners are Yemenis, and they're not confident the Yemen government can properly deal with them. You know, Yemen has been a safe haven for al-Qaeda for years, from the USS Cole in 2000 to an attack on the U.S. Embassy last year.
Chris, this rehabilitation program in Saudi Arabia, what's that all about?
Well, I think you're showing some of the photos that CNN obtained from inside a class. The program uses education, reconnection with family, and job training to try to reintegrate these prisoners into society. The Saudi government also gives them and their families money, provides them with jobs, and in some cases even provides them with wives.
But the question is, does the program really work? If they are, in fact, hardened terrorists, can this rehabilitation program in Saudi Arabia make them productive, peaceful citizens?
Well, it's considered effective, but it has had its problems. Some of the Guantanamo prisoners, in fact, have ended up back in terrorist roles, like this man I think that you're seeing right now. He's a Saudi. He's now considered al-Qaeda in Yemen's leader and made responsible for a car bombing outside the U.S. Embassy just last year. Now, a spokesman for the Yemen embassy told CNN that the country is trying to create its own rehabilitation program modeled on this Saudi program, but money is an issue, and they're also waiting to see what President Obama is going to do.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. Chris Lawrence at the Pentagon.